this is a US tax question. So if US expats living in Canada seeking to become IRS compliant, so for whatever reason you're living in Canada and you haven't been keeping up with your US taxes, generally speaking, there are two programs available. If it is that your non-compliance is deemed to have been non-willful, then there'll be the streamlined compliance procedures. If your non-compliance is deemed to have been willful, you have what was formerly known as voluntary disclosure, or basically referring to the options available in the original IRS manual. So the difference between that concept of willfulness, of course, is not properly really explained in IRS code, but we refer to case law. And case law tells us that something is willful when you intentionally ignore a known legal duty. So you knew that you had to file your taxes and you intentionally did not. Whereas if you're non-willful, then you didn't intend to evade or avoid that known legal responsibility. So since we're getting into the nuances of law, I think the first thing we do when we get clients in that gray area is we reach out to one of the one of the tax lawyers that we work with, because a key part of your submission would be a statement, basically a statement explaining reasonable cause. As much as possible, of course, you have to understand the facts and circumstances around your case and seeing whether there's a reasonable cause position to be taken, which will hopefully minimize some of the penalties and the interest on the penalty side. The penalties can be quite aggressive because the penalties for non-compliance for international tax responsibilities from a US point of view can be not just civil but criminal as well. So you'd really want to work with a team of both accountants and lawyers to cover both sides of it. So whoever asked this question, please feel free to reach out to us. We are a team of both accountants and lawyers who can help you navigate what could be a tricky and dangerous process if not dealt with properly. So I hope that helps.
So, Darren, is there a difference between repeat offenders and first-time offenders for non-compliance, or do they look at it on a case-by-case basis?
They look at it on a case-by-case basis. Unfortunately, we have seen people being repeat offenders for streamlined. So they fall behind and then they fall behind again. But, their facts and circumstances tend to suggest that they were non-willful. They're just being careless, or life gets the better of them. Family emergencies, COVID, divorce, illness, or whatever. But in terms of those who may deemed to be willful, those would be rare because they expense and it is emotional. It is emotional having to go through because there's a lot of uncertainty with the criminal penalties apply and so on and so forth. In our practice, we have yet to see someone being a repeat offender on the willful side. But so far, so good. I think after going through that trauma the first time, they learned their lesson.
That's right. Yeah.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.